Hey book besties, welcome back to another bookish video. Today we're going to be sitting down and talking about every book series that I'm currently in the middle of and telling you whether I'm going to finish them or not. We're purely just talking about book series that I've already started or currently in the middle of. We're not talking about book series that I have owned but haven't started yet. That could be a different video if you guys want to see, but this is just books that I'm in the middle of. Anyways, with that all being said, let's just hop right into the video. Let's start off by talking about the Knock 'Em Out trilogy by Lucy Score. So I've actually already read Things We Never Got Over and Things We Hide from the Light. So I've only got one last book to go, which is Things We Left Behind, which I recently picked up, and I'm definitely planning to read that one early 2024. So yes, I am planning to continue on and finish off that series this year. I enjoyed both of these books. It is a small town romance. The first book has the grumpy sunshine trope and it was so good. It was a 4.5-star read for me. And then Things We Hide from the Light I actually recently just finished. This was also pretty good as well, but I am really hyped up for Things We Left Behind because it's enemies to lovers and we got so many crumbs of Sloane and Lucian, who are the couple in that book, in these two books. So I am really excited to get to that one. Then we have the Dreamland Billionaires trilogy by Lauren Asher. So I currently only own the first two books, which are The Fine Print and Terms and Conditions. I've only read The Fine Print, so I still have two more books left to go, but I am planning to definitely finish off this trilogy because I really enjoyed the first book. It was one of my 5-star reads of 2023 and I've got high hopes for the other two books. So Terms and Conditions would be my next read, and then the last book is Final Offer, which I don't own yet, but I am planning on continuing and finishing the series. Then we have the Red Queen series by Victoria Aveyard, and I started this series back in 2020 when I was first starting my reading journey as an adult, and I have so far only read the first two books, which are Red Queen and Glass Sword. Obviously read these literally 3 to 4 years ago, so I can't even really remember too much about what happened, but I do remember Red Queen had such a good plot twist that had me absolutely shook. But I remember Glass Sword to be really boring and I can't even remember what happened in this book. So that kind of put me in a slump and never made me pick up the other two books. And honestly, I don't see myself continuing on with this series anytime soon, if ever, to be honest, because I just don't have any interest. I have so many other books that are way more higher priority on my TBR list, and after the experience I had with Glass Sword, I probably would not continue on with this series. So this is probably a no. Then I have the Akatar series by Sarah J Maas. I have only just read the first book. The second book, Akamath, is actually upstairs and I'm hoping to start that one soon. So I am planning to continue on with this series and hopefully finish it, especially with the way that this book ended. And I know that the books keep getting better and better, so that's got me hope. So I am planning to continue on with this fantasy romance series. Then I have the Off-Campus series by Elle Kennedy, which is an ice hockey romance. So far I've only read the first book, which is The Deal, and it was a 5-star read for me. So that makes me really excited because I think I'm really going to enjoy the rest of the books. I love ice hockey romances and this world of Briar U is one of my absolute favorites. So I am planning to continue and finish off the series. I've actually recently picked up the second and third book, which you guys would have seen in my book haul that I posted last week, but definitely planning on continuing on with this series. Then I've got the Broken Beautiful series by Tessa Bailey. The first book is Chase Me, which I read in 2023. I rated it a 2-star. I did not really like this. I did not like that this book was solely focused on physical attraction, nothing else beyond that. I also did not care for the other two like roommates of the main female character, which we follow in the other two books. So I will not be continuing on with the Broken Beautiful trilogy. Then I have the Eden series. I've got the second and third book here by Devney Perry, which are Juniper Hill and Garnet Flats. I am definitely planning on finishing this series. I think there are more books that are coming as well, which makes me so excited, but this is a small town romance trilogy. The first book actually had a murder mystery side plot going on, which was so interesting. So I'm really excited to see what these two books are because I feel like Devney Perry's writing is so easy to understand and read and just really interesting. So I'm definitely planning to continue on with this series. Then I have the Maple Hills series by Hannah Grace. So far I've only read Icebreaker and I adored this book. These two characters, Stacy and Nate, are my favorite book couple ever. They are just next level, so good. I love Hannah Grace's writing. This book was just so fun and also really had some good representation as well. So far we have the second book, Wildfire, that came out a couple months ago, and that actually has a summer camp setting. I really do want to read that one very, very soon. I don't own that yet, but as you can probably tell, yes, I do plan on continuing on with the series, especially because the third book I think comes out in a couple months, and that's Henry's story, and I loved him in this book, so I'm really, really excited to be reading about that one. And I think like the love interest for Henry is a major Swiftie bookworm, and I'm so here for it. I'm really, really excited for it. Then we have the Influences trilogy by Amy Lee. So far I obviously only have the first two books, which are Set on You and X's and O's. I've read both of these. X's and O's is actually a 5-star read for me. The last book, which is The Catch, actually comes out very, very soon, and I am planning to pick that one up. So I do plan on finishing this series, and I'm planning to finish it in 2024. Then we've got the Simple Wild series. I actually started this series back in 2022, so I've only read the Simple Wild, and it was my favorite book of 2022. It's still a book that I honestly think about on a very regular basis. This made me fall in love with small town romance and Grumpy Sunshine in the first place, and now those two tropes are top tier favorites of mine. But I am yet to read the 3 other books, but I do definitely plan on picking these up. I just haven't been in the mood to pick these up though. That's the only thing, but I do really want to continue on with this series because I loved Calla and Jonah, and the second book, Wild at Heart, is a continuation, and Forever Wild is a little novella, and then Running Wild is following a different side character. I do definitely plan on picking these up in the future, and I do plan on finishing it. It's just about when I want to. I feel like the series is very much like autumn winter coated, so I do have to wait for winter for that to arrive. And yes, I live in Australia. It's summer currently, so winter is still a little whiles away. Now, I don't really know if this counts as a series, but I've got the Spanish Love Deception series. So the first book being the Spanish Love Deception, and then the second, American Roommate Experiment. This is just a duology. I read the Spanish Love Deception last year and I did not like it. It was 2 stars, and it has made me really hesitant to pick up the American Roommate Experiment, and I don't know if I will pick this up. I've actually heard some really not so great reviews about this book, so now that also makes me not want to pick it up, especially after the experience I had with this one. But yeah, this is TBD at the moment. I don't know if I will pick this one up. Maybe if I'm in the mood to, I will, but I just don't think that Elena Amos's writing is specifically for me. So I don't know. Please convince me. Should I read this? Because I don't know. Then I have the Love-Hate Duet. The first book is To Love Jason Thorne, which I no longer have because I despise that book. It was a 1-star read for me. But this is the second book, and this is To Hate Adam Connor. I've heard much better reviews about this one, but I am still hesitant on picking this one up because of how bad my experience was of reading To Love Jason Thorne. At the moment, I'm probably going to say no to continuing on with this, but I feel like that might possibly change. Give myself a little bit of time to get over To Love Jason Thorne, which might be a really long time to be honest, and then maybe I'll consider this, but I don't know. Then we have the Tribe series. I believe this is actually a 3-book series. I actually grew up watching The Tribe on ABC. It was one of my favorite TV shows growing up, and they cancelled after season 5, and it was just so open-ended, and then they came out with books. So this is essentially like season 6 and season 7, and then there's another book which I think is meant to be like a season 8. I have read A New World, but this was years ago. Like I can't even tell you when I read this book. I think it might have been in like 2019, 2020. I can't even remember when I last read this book. I do own this book. I don't know if I will continue on with the series because honestly, like, I love the TV show so much that I know the books are not living up to the TV show. Like, I need TV show adaptation, not the books, which is really weird for me to say, I know. Most likely probably will not continue on with this. And lastly, I have When in Rome by Sarah Adams. I don't know what the series or duology is called, but the second book is Practice Makes Perfect, which I haven't read yet because I don't own it, but I did read When in Rome in early 2023. loved this. This book was so cozy. It's a cute little small town romance duology, and I really enjoyed this, and I think I'm really going to enjoy Practice Makes Perfect, which is the second and last book. So yes, I will be continuing on with that duology, or finishing off that duology once I eventually get the second book. Okay, so I feel like I went through those series very quickly, but that is pretty much the current book series that I am in the middle of reading. Obviously there are so many other book series that I own that I haven't read yet. Like I've got the Addicted Callaway series, the Folk of the Air trilogy, Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. I have so many of those unread series that I haven't even started the first book for, but I didn't want to mention them here because I feel like they don't really count because I'm not currently in the middle of reading them. So yeah, anyways, I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Please convince me to read some of these series because I clearly do have quite a few series that I'm in the middle of that I need to continue and finish, and that is one of my reading goals for 2024. So let's see how that goes. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you did enjoy watching, and subscribe to my channel down below. I post new videos every week, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!